Fuck Google, is that what you said? Oh, wait. Hey, this is Legends of Tabletop. We're getting back to our Cthulhu Invictus game tonight. It's been a hot minute since we've played, but the last adventure that we ran through was the Bog of... where we fought a Dark Young and defeated it after a little bit of will they, won't they. We were attacked by some frogs with wings. The whole thing was a shit show, really. Like it was not as bad as like the campaign not continuing, but it was rough session. So that's all I really remember. So I'm just gonna kick it over to Oscar. We'll figure out what we're doing.
Okay. As you said, the swamp in the Severn Valley, on the outskirts of the Severn Valley, was a very taxing adventure. You're all, exhausted. Decide to head back to Londinum for, a few nights of plays, a few visits to the bathhouse, some nice meals, a dozen or so nights in a soft bed by a warm fire out of the freaking rain of Britannia to kind of center yourself after, that arduous journey. So you get back to the house of your mentor, not your mentor, your patron, the person you're staying with who's been sending you on these adventures. And he's like, well, so thank goodness you've returned. There are dispatches here waiting for you, but they've been here for a couple of days. They can wait another couple of days. He says, you look like, your tunics are fitting too loose. You looks like you've missed too many meals. And, quite frankly, you look like you haven't slept in a real bed in a while. So why don't we get you guys all cleaned up? And then, maybe tomorrow or the next day, we'll go over your dispatches. It seems that you four have become rather popular. Or rather, some of you always were.
Is there any news from my family in Palestine? I'm curious to hear.
Yes, there is a dispatch from them.
Excellent.
Nice. Yes, well, we have traveled quite far, ranged through much of Britannia. A rest would be most welcome. Wine and a bath.
Okay.
And a good shave. I'm starting to get a little fuzzy around the edges.
He says, I will have my man shave you. He has a body slave that, basically does the whole shave thing. He throws a small banquet and invites like half a dozen friends over. So you guys are treated to, a huge, spread. And he says that he has a special treat planned to celebrate your return. And he whispers to you that, his business has done very well because sending you on these adventures as favors for people, they've looked favorably on him. So he's very happy, and he's more than grateful for the opportunity to spread the wealth that your endeavors have brought to his business. So after several courses of great food and wine packed in buckets of snow, a rare delicacy of chilled wine, there's actually 2 rounds of entertainment. There's a round of players that they perform music, and this you suspect they have some bardic training, but this Romano-Celtic nobleman recites some sections of the Iliad to music. And then, when some people are loving it and some people are falling asleep, the next round of entertainers are a pair of gladiators who have been hired to, bare knuckle till knockout or submission. Neither one, it's not to the death. But betting is highly encouraged. And it's an amazing display. And everybody knows of you all, and they ask you questions about some of your exploits. So I will have one person come to each of you. Just give me 1 second.
So out of character then, how much are these people aware of what's actually happening? I know our patron is, but are
Some
the
of them
guests
are.
sort
They're
of-
friends of people who have who've talked to you before.
Mhm.
So one of them says to Malachi, is it true that you and your companions encountered a hag in the mountains of northern Britannia?
I wouldn't wish to speak ill of the natives of northern Britannia, but we certainly encountered some interesting country people who'd seen things that were rather surprising for folks from the city, such as you.
And
I'm
they
sure.
pressed and they said, but the tales that we've heard were that there was a mountain hag killing travelers between two cities, and that your group were responsible for putting her to rest.
I'm going to do an insight roll just to kind of get a sense of what the motive is here and how much I can actually divulge. Yeah, I definitely hard success on my.
It's gossip and
insight.
entertainment.
Okay.
You are something of a celebrity as a monster hunter in ancient Rome. There were people who went and cleansed evil spirits and hunted creatures, and so you are one of those rare people who've actually gone, encountered one of these creatures and survived.
Right. So it's relatively innocent to just sort of answer
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. We certainly there was an interesting case where the scholars and I and our local Doreena were on the hunt for a murderess who was responsible for a number of cases of murder on the road. And fortunately, we were successful in finding her and foiling her, despite some travail.
All right, so people had gathered round, and as you're telling your tale, somebody asked Macrion, says, "Is it true that you've actually tread the lands beyond? That you've crossed into the other world, the Tirnanog? We've heard rumors that you've even been gifted with items from a fairy queen." And everybody's leaning forward to see if you'll confirm or deny.
Yeah, because he enjoyed it. I think he would. He's jazzed up by the bare knuckle boxing. Like he wants to get in there. Fucking wrestle around. He's like, yes.
I would have figured that Macrion would have wanted some more lines from the Iliad.
Well, he enjoyed that too. I got creepy 50%. He was leaning forward.
You enjoyed both.
Yeah, for sure. So he says, "Yeah, so we met some interesting folk. They did create a little bit of a let's say not a fracture per se, but a disagreement among the party. Perhaps that I was able to take a journey." As it were, to explore a new area. There was a feast and there's much drinking. It was quite enjoyable.
And then when somebody says a fracture of opinion, and they look over at Doreena, who's just has this sour, resting bitch face, and they're like, I take it, Huntress, you are not a fan of the Fae?
I wouldn't say I'm their biggest fan. But I do not think anything unwell of them. Just not their biggest fan.
Oscar, I'm kind of sliding back over to the buffet table and just sort of taking the opportunity to kind of step back and sort of survey everyone in the room. And just rolled I'm gonna take my time with it. I've rolled a 24 out of 83 on spot hidden, just to kind of really get a sense of everyone in the room.
Everyone seems to be a huge fan. They're like geeking out. If this was a con, these would be the people waiting for you guys to sign pictures of yourselves.
Nevertheless, I'm gonna stay over by the buffet table.
So
Oh,
Herminius,
good old Malachi.
Herminius, somebody comes over to you and says, "Is it true? I've heard this as well. That you tracked down a runaway slave who became a skin changer, who was able to manifest into a bear."
Oh, no. That is absolutely foolish. And he's like sitting there, like swirling the wine in his goblet. And he's like, that is one of the most ridiculous things I have ever heard. It was a boar.
I'm so glad you remembered. This is like my Britannia retrospective section. And they're like, really, a boar?
Yes, who have ever heard of a bear skin changer? That would be just silly.
So
imagine the grooming upkeep that would take.
Did you return her to her master?
Oh, no. Once someone has been into the wild as such, it is impossible to return them to civilization.
And we
let her roam free with the rest of her.
Really? Is it safe, such a creature, to roam free among the hills?
Oh, yes. In fact, she ended up being much more important. She is now the guardian of an entire forest.
That is most fascinating. So everybody just like eats this up. And you know, the one guy says, "Oh, you know, your stories are so wonderful. I wish to invite you to my home tomorrow. If it would be possible to have a scribe translate some of these. I know a publisher friend that we could put out a collection of tales. Of course, I would cut you in for royalties."
Oh, of course.
I give our patron a side-eye glance, like,
And he like, kind of like,
yeah. Well, you know, perhaps let us sleep on it. It's been a very full evening. Much enjoyed everyone's
your
company.
Patron comes over and says, "Oh, what are you trying to do? Poach my friend. Poach my friends. I bet your publisher would change the names and have you responsible for slaying the bear, the bear boar skin changing creature."
I bet they would be foolish enough to actually make it a bear.
And then someone else, and it goes on like this for a while. Like, "I heard you encountered an undead stag." And you realize, wow, we've really been in Britannia for a long time. And someone asks, "Don't you long to return, to the provinces, to the?" And then someone has Britannia is a province. What are you implying? He goes, No. I mean the mainland. And she says, yes, I love Britannia, but I can't spend my winters here. I have to go. I have, in the winter I go back to Greece. And somebody like, there's nothing like Southern Gaul in the winter, to spend your days by the seaside.
It's been a long time since I've been back to Alexandria, but we've had quite a few adventures here. It's been an interesting time, to say the least.
Well, we were happy to have you, and you'll be welcome here as long as you'd like to stay. There's never a shortage of work for, specialists such as yourselves. Hold on one moment.
Sure.
Macrion, if you do ever return back to the mainland, you must come to my home in Salona. There is a man there who has a market that has some of the most magnificent ham. I'm sure you would enjoy it.
Oh, I should like to take you up on that offer.
All right, so after most of the people leave, the master of the house says, "Well, I'm going to bed. Help yourself to whatever is left. My house is your house." And he basically tells all of the slaves and the servants, help yourself to whatever leftovers you want. And at this point, like, all of the household slaves and servants come out, and they were like, "There's plenty of chilled wine left, sirs, and if you wish to." And then some of the servants, as they're clearing away plates, they're going to start a dice game. So basically, it's like the after party for the staff that you're
Yeah.
also invited to.
Nice.
Here's where I feel most comfortable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
same.
Yeah, these are like the common working class people. So it's like, you basically end up chatting and bullshitting and gambling and drinking and eating cold leftovers until dawn.
Nice.
I think actually Herminius, probably about an hour or so into the after party, will kind of excuse himself at that point. He'll have raised his glass to Malachi, noticing that he's kind of been like taking it easy and keeping watch the entire time. But then he'll like put his still full goblet down, giving Malachi a little bit of a wink, and then he'll head off to bed.
Oh, it's kind of
It's been a long few months.
It's kind of he's like got PTSD. It's like he can't even relax. Because he's waiting for somebody to turn into a horrible monster and attack. It's like,
Well, it's kind of my job, right? I'm the one that is supposed to be. As much as I would love to get drunk,
and it's not like I wouldn't do something like that.
Exactly. That's the other thing. Considering the last several months of our adventures,
Right? You guys have
Exactly.
ground.
I don't trust anything anymore.
Ground to gravel, if not dust.
Having a conversation to remind us about the Fae and their betrayals, and all of a sudden I'm on alert again.
At some point during the course of the evening, Macrion wrestles somebody.
Either willingly or unwillingly.
I would like to
It turns
say,
out it's actually a statue that he's wrestling.
I would probably
one of the slightly older widowed freedmen women says that I should never drink mead because it's bad for my thighs. And she says they seem to spread apart. It says I'm gonna take she basically picks two guys, Macrion being one of them. It says whoever wins the wrestling match can warm their bed with me.
He's up like a shot.
Roll your brawl and your luck.
oh no.
Oh fuck! That's an 89. I failed my brawl.
Oh,
Damn it!
You wrestled with her.
Do you want to push that?
Yeah, I'll push it. Fuck it.
Push it means you're gonna get choked out.
push it real good.
Okay.
I
I got a 44. Like 57.
Okay, you're like
Yay.
starting to black out, and you like push this guy against the wall, and you reverse, and he like gives, and you wake up next to a not as attractive as you remembered, but still fairly attractive freedman maid.
But man, that mead was good, though.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
was.
Doreena, make a luck check.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness gracious. I was going to say that I would most likely be betting men to arm wrestle with me and then
Okay.
kicking their ass most of the night.
Nice.
That was going to be, I'll drink, but not too much. 23 out of, I know I passed it. I'm just, damn, it's been forever since I looked at the sheet. Look, come on, where are they? Oh, there you are at the bottom corner of my sheet. Yes, I make it. Very
Okay.
good. I make it.
So yes, you bet well, you wrestle well. You've arm wrestled a whole bunch of people.
Have I made a lot of money though?
You've made like 40 sesterci,
Fabulous.
and wake up next to a beautiful youth you do not remember their name.
Oof. Okay. Oh, I will have a short conversation with that person once they wake up and try to find out what happened and how I got there. Ah.
They fill you in.
Oh, thank goodness. Oh my
Okay,
god.
Malachi, you finally get to relax and just drink and eat, and none of you wake up before noon the next day. It is literally like you hear some of you are going to sleep and you hear a cock crow, and it's like, oh my god. So you managed to get into one of the better bathhouses right before dusk. You haven't eaten because you all went to bed very full and hungover. So at dinner the next night, you are presented with your dispatches. There is one for Herminius, there is one for Macrion, there is one for Malachi, and there is one for Doreena.
Oh,
Interesting.
yes.
Who wants to review the contents of their dispatch first?
I'll do it.
Okay, Doreena, you are asked. The dispatch comes from a nobleman.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Named Aurelius Rufus.
Mm-hmm.
And he is wishing to hire you because his nephew
Mm-hmm.
has been arrested and charged with murder.
Ooh.
But they're hoping to either offer a huge bribe for his release,
Okay.
or at least have someone investigate the truth as to who was really behind it. They don't think that he would have ever killed someone, especially as he was a guest in a foreign land at the time.
Oh.
He has been accused of murdering two Pictish noblemen of the Venturian tribe north of the wall in Caledonia. They are one of the southern tribes that actually has semi-peaceful relations with Rome for trade.
Mm-hmm.
And he is a merchant diplomat. Apparently, his body, he was found covered in blood, and the people that he was with the night before, including his bodyguard.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on a second. Including his bodyguard, were dead. They've been found on a hilltop near where he was found raving.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
So he said that they've hired a Pictish diplomat to meet you at Hadrian's Wall named Curtigana of the Caldoni.
Mm-hmm.
She will serve as a translator if you accept this mission.
Mm-hmm.
He is willing to send you with like 200 talons of gold, which would be like 100,000 gold pieces to get this noble as a bribe to get this noble released.
Okay.
Wow.
And they said that, should he be released, they would be willing to pay you, basically like 3 years of what your salary is usually.
Ooh.
That's to each of your companions. So we would take your profession's your profession's yearly wage,
Mm-hmm.
and we would triple it.
That's like retirement money right there.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Getting too old for this shit.
I am
also
27 after all.
I'm
Oh,
like
yeah.
44.
Well, I would have to say everybody's got to age themselves like a year at this point. You've been literally
Oh man.
gone through like 11 adventures, I think, in Britannia.
46.
All right, so I'm 26
Oh, man.
then. My wrinkling is happening.
All right, who wants to hear their dispatch list? Okay, Malachi. Malachi, you are told that one of the wealthier people that you know, who's been a pillar of the community, you're in Antioch, right, Malachi?
Uh, I'm from Jerusalem,
You're
Palestine.
from okay. Um, he's they're a wealthy couple. You know them very well. It turns out that their only child um, has there was a wave of illness that swept through the children of Jerusalem, and their young son was actually one of the unfortunates caught in it, and it's a wasting disease. They think that the child only has about another year, a year and a half before it progresses to the point where they're no longer able to walk, and it's possible that it may take their life.
Take the child's life.
Right. And again, you know, because you're a friend of the family, that they've lost 3 children already before the age of 1. This is the only one to get past the age of 5. The boy is now like 7. And the wife is probably nearly died delivering him and has never been able to conceive again. They said that they've heard rumors of a spring dedicated to the goddess of healing, Hygeia, in the mountains of Macedonia. That is said that anyone who drinks from the spring is cured of any ailment. They are willing to pay your weight in gold to heal to track down this sacred spring, and deliver some of its water to their son, to save his life and restore his health. But there are very few leads, so they were hoping that you could come with your companions, who are Macrion the scholar and Herminius the witch hunter. And of course you who are a renowned monster hunter. They're desperate, and so you're weight in silver to save the health of our son by finding this lost shrine in the mountains of Macedonia. Okay, Herminius or Macrion, who wants to go next?
Me.
Jesse can go. Yeah.
Okay, Herminius, a friend of yours that you've done work for, his second son has recently purchased a large tract of land with a villa on it, in the frontier of Dacia. And the father has contacted you and says, he bought this with his allowance money before I could advise him not to. And now he is dead set to go there with his retainers to take up residence as the master of the house. And he says, I am told that the house has orchards. It is a 2-year-old, it is a fairly new villa. And the price included all of the slaves and servants working the orchards and the house. But the price he paid was like 35,000 sesterces.
Is that good or bad?
That's like getting a house in the Hollywood Hills for $250,000.
So it looks like he made a deal then. I do not see what the issue is here.
The father says no deal this good can be true. I feel that my son has been swindled, and Dacia is a frontier province only recently brought under heel. So there may, not only may he have been swindled, this may be a pretext for ransom if he has been fooled by banditry or rebels. I cannot dissuade him from it. He is already set. Plans have been put in motion. But if you could go with him, you know this guy. You know the son. He means well. His nickname growing up was Turtle. So basically the father is like, look, at worst, you get to go to Dacia, see the new villa, hang out, come back. I pay you for your time. If things go pear-shaped, I would put my son's life in your capable hands to get him out of any situation. If you could just go with him and stay with him until you judge the situation is safe, I would very much appreciate it. But again, no deal this good could possibly be true.
Agreed.
Macrion.
Mm-hmm.
A brilliant student of yours, because you do take jobs as a house tutor and a teacher. You actually helped teach this little girl how to read about, many years ago. And her family is inviting you to, let me hold on one second. I have to look it up because I just finished this.
10
I just
minutes
finished.
ago.
I finished the rewrite. No, no, it's not the one 10 minutes ago. This is the one I almost erased.
Oh, jeez.
It's in the mountains of Italy, of northern Italy, on the slopes. It's a town called Assisi in the Apennine Mountains. It's a mountain resort town. Their daughter has been lucky enough to be selected to be inducted into the Temple of Minerva. And there is a week-long festival that is starting in a few weeks called Quinquatria. It's a week-long festival. They were inviting you to come and be a guest in their house for the week-long festival to witness the induction of their daughter into become an initiate priestess in the Temple of Minerva.
And what would Macrion know about the Temple of Minerva?
Minerva is the goddess of the arts and crafts and also war. She's the goddess of a lot of things. The festival is basically a week of parties, plays, competitions, art displays. It's basically like an arts festival.
Okay.
And they're saying it would mean so much of you, if you were there. Because quite frankly, some of our immediate family have refused to attend. So we would like as many loved ones present as possible. And our daughter always thought very fond of you and still speaks of you today.
Okay.
Her name is Kazmina. She was one of the most brilliant students you ever tutored.
Okay. Interesting.
So you all have some discussion to do.
Well, so Herminius has graciously offered to take us to his villa now that this has all been wrapped up. I do have an invite here from a student that I taught for a while. She's being inducted into the Temple of Minerva. It's a festival coming up. It could be a nice respite after all of this. He kind of waves his hand around.
This being Britannia. This the whole rainy province filled with death.
Well, that sounds a lot nice. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh no, please, Doreena, go speak.
I was just gonna say it sounds a lot nicer than what I've just been offered. A young man has been wrongfully accused of murder, and they are seeking our help with a lot of money being involved in either paying them off to get him out or investigating to find out who actually did the murder and set him free. So that sounds a lot nicer, Macrion, honestly. But if there's someone who's actually been wrongfully accused of murder, I think that is worth looking into.
And exactly how much money are we speaking of?
3 times our yearly salaries.
That also could afford us a nice, healthy break afterwards.
I was
Very
going
nice
to say
healthy
that
break.
money is not the root to all happiness, but that is quite a substantial sum.
It's not the root, but it definitely gives you the shovel to find it.
It would certainly help pave the way to happiness quite a bit. That's for sure.
I agree. But I do want to hear everyone else out. I know we all received something.
I have a similar potentially beneficial offer from customers of mine from previous service that I've done. A very incredibly wealthy couple in Macedonia that I've previously done work for, who I can vouch for as being very remarkable, special people. Who've had some great misfortune with their children over the years. They only have one surviving child, relatively young, who's come down with a wasting disease of a sort. And they would like to hire us to go and find a reputed source of some healing elixir. And in exchange for that, if we can find the source in a mountain in Macedonia and bring it to them, we would be rewarded with our weight in gold, which is, as far as I can correct, a lot of money, essentially. So,
You are a healthy lad,
Especially if we're
Malachi.
putting Macrion on the scale.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And we
there's
can
that. Yeah.
eat as time goes on and get heavier
we-
if needed.
So,
We can put on a few pounds before that, before the weigh-in.
I'm working on it right now.
I started working on it last night.
In fact, I started working on it last night. In fact,
Well,
hold on.
The weigh-in would be at the end of the evening, yes. Not the beginning of the day, please.
I do believe that is a little bit more up our alley in terms of our specific talents. And to Doreena's point, that also does allow us to assist somebody and do some good after all that we've been doing so far. I do say that mine is a little more up the similar alley to Macrion's. I have a family friend whose son has purchased a nice tract of land out in Dacia, and he would just wish us to escort him to the villa. The deal seems a little too sweet to be true. A large expanse of land, a villa, fully furnished, fully staffed, an orchard, and absolutely beautiful for a incredibly low sum of money. So his father fears that he is being swindled somehow and may be in trouble if he arrives. Some sort of setup. It would allow us a nice boat ride to Dacia, a nice caravan ride out to Romania, which, from what I've heard, is beautiful in terms of the mountains and the forests and everything. And at worst, we kill some bandits, right?
Yes, Dacia is Romania.
Yes, I googled.
Good for you.
The only Dacia I know.
Macedonia is still Macedonia, and Natalia is still Italia.
Right.
Yeah, I'm
the only Dacia I know is the car company, so it's like that can't be true.
I'm currently looking at a map of Dacia right now. Wow. Yeah. I'm sure nothing could possibly go wrong in
Oh,
Dacia.
Cthulhu Invictus in
Mm-mm. No, absolutely
Pennsylvania.
not.
Nothing could
Yeah,
go
yeah,
wrong.
what could possibly?
Nope.
Not considering that the Black Stone is my favorite mythos story of all time, which is also set in Romania.
Writing that
Hungary.
down right now.
Romania, Hungary.
Note to selves: everyone read the Black Stone before.
Actually, it's a great story, but it's not connected to this. I have not.
Yeah.
I have yet to
Uh-huh.
write my Black Stone scenario. It's on my eventually list, and you guys know how that is. I don't feel I'm talented enough to write it yet. So that's got to wait until I feel I've got the chops behind me.
Next week.
But oh no, there will be a Blackstone Invictus one day.
Oh,
Just
nice.
not today. Not this year.
Yeah.
Oh, but the way we, stretch things out, it could just be,
Right.
just saying.
Well,
So
Herminius-
I do feel as if we want to take kind of a slight respite and enjoy ourselves a bit, then visiting Macrion's student or following my friend's son might be a good idea. But if we still want to do a little bit of good and put some good hard work in, then you, Malachi, or Doreena might be the better suggestion.
I do own a home in Athens. It's a bit of a ways from Macedonia, but it would be nice to get back onto the Greek peninsula. But these all seem like very worthy options.
And they're all being run at Rising Phoenix on the 22nd, 21st, 23rd. This is Web of Vengeance. It's Web of Vengeance, Kiss of Hygeia, and the Haunted Villa. So these are all adventures that I'm running in 2 weeks.
Nice.
One of which I am still writing, but that is neither here nor there. I have a 3-day weekend, and I knock down rubber tree plants all the fucking time.
Macrion, did you not get some kind of package offer? Did I miss that?
Yes, to one of my former students is being inducted into the Temple of Minerva. So week-long
yes.
festival. Yes.
Oh yeah, that sounds rather intriguing.
It would be nice to make it back down
resort town in northern Italy.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, that does sort of line up nicely. I eventually would really love to get back to Palestinia. There is kind of an arc here going northern Italy, Macedonia, Dacia, etc.
True. We could make the circuit around the Mediterranean. It would be nice to make it back to the nice, fresh sea air and away from all of this cold and fog.
I'm hearing the Indiana Jones theme on a dulcimer with the line through the map.
So we have the next year and a half planned out. Then?
Oh wait, I actually just did.
Hey, these are written. This would be a softball for me. All this material's done.
I accidentally just did the A-Team theme.
I'm getting an old playing Hannibal.
Instead of the band, we have the Daisy cart.
Oh, it's gonna be the Daisy cart with the stripe,
painted black with a red stripe. Yep.
You're gonna need a wagon. You're gonna need two donkeys and a wagon with the stripe.
I'm Mr. T. I need to get some more jewelry while we're here in London.
I expect to see the Mohawk by next week.
Oh my goodness.
What about maybe we sort of make our way along the way, and because frankly, I'll say a week at a festival of Minerva doesn't sound like the worst way to sort of decompress from some of the things that we've gone through. There's no intrigue there, right, Macrion? It's just simply relaxation, right?
It doesn't appear to be. They did mention that some of the immediate family wouldn't be attending, but could be due to some internal strife. Maybe they wished her to be inducted into a different temple. It's not clear. It seems just as if it'd be a relaxing time spent at festival.
Well, I would certainly strongly recommend if you all are up for it that we do help my former my former clients that I'd like to help out. But along the way, maybe we could make it's not even really much of a detour. I would assume we would come into northern Italy along the way to Macedonia anyway.
And I'm sure that my friend would delay his son in leaving to Dacia if we were to make a few stops along the way. I don't believe that there are any particular rush.
So, because the characters, I guess, would have a better handle on this than I do, would it be a matter of taking a boat from England and then?
You're going to land in what is now Gaul.
Okay, so
You're
we're going to
going
go
to
France.
take
Yeah.
roads from Gaul, through Gaul into Radia, down through the Italian peninsula
Okay, that's what I figured.
to the festival. From the Italian peninsula, you would then take a boat ride
Through the Adriatic.
through the Adriatic, either heading towards Hungary or Greece or Macedonia, depending on which of those you
Would it be possible to take a boat from Britannia down through the Straits?
Be a
Or is
long
that kind
boat
of
ride.
going into Gaul and then
It would probably be way more feasible to go to Gaul, cross Gaul, and then take a boat, pick up another boat in southern France,
Okay.
southern Gaul, or his, But yeah, the hugging the Iberian coast and going through the Pillars of Hercules, that is definitely, that'd be like rounding the Cape of Good Hope today. It's
really? Okay.
You can do it, but it's a lot.
Right. Because you have all the Roman roads through Gaul, so
Yeah,
like
it's easier.
Right, yeah.
it's not a straight shot, but I mean it's kind of a straight shot.
Yep.
So Malachi, is there, if this child has some sort of a wasting disease, do you believe that we'll have enough time?
My client said that they expect maybe a year, so we have some time.
And again, I'll add a character, Oscar, to get from where we are across Gaul would take maybe how long? France is kind of big.
We're not going to worry about time.
Okay.
Even if the
Less
kid is
than a year.
Even if the kid is at death's door, if he drinks the magic elixir, he's going to be healed.
Okay.
I don't want time or space to dictate what you guys want to do next.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
So my assumption is that
Like,
the person
you will get to the festival on time. You will meet up with the young noble before he goes to Dacia. You will be able to get to, if you can get to the healing shrine in time to save the child.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Or, you'll show up in Caledonia in time for the trial.
Okay.
And try and exonerate the young nobleman.
So no matter which way we choose this, time is on our side.
I mean, if you choose to not go to Scotland, someone else is going to have to try and save this guy, which is fine,
No, so for me, like out of game, it's either in my brain it says time is of the essence, so essentially it would be the festival because that's what's going to have a solid date for.
Right,
but
yeah.
The most time sensitive one would definitely be the one in Scotland.
Mine.
Because he's literally in a cell waiting for a trial date.
Sure.
And they're delaying the trial until Roman diplomats arrive because they don't want an incident. They want someone in Roman authority there.
Yeah.
So that the trial can be done above board and they won't be accused of anything after.
No.
Okay.
But again, does it have to be you guys?
Yeah. So just John, just to give you a little bit. So it's big, but it's not huge. So you can actually, I mean, granted, you need a boat, but to go from London to Florence, Italy on a bike is 4 days.
Oh shit. Okay. All right.
Oh, nice.
So, I
That's
mean,
on
if
paved
you're
roads,
like
etc.
going and resting and everything, it would probably be like 9 or 10 days, but still.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, yeah. I mean, Oscar said it didn't matter anyway, but
Well, yeah,
I
but
mean, it's
yeah,
good to
yeah,
know.
yeah.
It's
I
good
mean,
to
it's
know.
even less time.
Yeah.
If it helps you make a decision.
exactly, yeah. So with that in mind, I don't think
Sure.
time is like he has a year. Like we not that saving a child isn't important and we should do it as fast as possible so that he doesn't suffer, but we have a year.
Right.
Well, that's like my thing is that like, okay, saving a child essentially is the most important, but then at the same time, like hearing Oscar say like the guy's rotting away in jail, like
Right, yeah.
Okay.
But then in essence to where we are, Scotland essentially would be closer, correct?
Correct.
True.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So
I
then
mean, probably a couple of days, right? Day or two to get back up north above the wall.
Yeah.
then where I'm sorry, the way my brain works is either math or maps or time, and then ethics. But that's where I'm kind of going at.
Well,
Yeah.
I want you guys to go where you most want to go. Like, what adventure seems the most interesting?
Relaxing at a festival.
Right.
So
I-
actually,
Which one's the one that takes us up to Scotland?
Doreena's the guy
mine.
in jail.
Doreena's, okay.
Yeah.
Serena's murder case.
Yeah.
That one is called at this point a trial in Caledonia.
So, like, out of character, like 100%, mine seems like the most superfluous insofar as like, and we know that there's something happening, but we're just going to hang out. And, you know, Malachi has a child who's wasting away, and Doreena has, you know, someone who's in jail.
Right.
Those feel like more of a priority, and we are here in Scotland, but, you know, how close are you to the person who's requesting the service? Is, you know what I mean? Like,
Sounds like another rich person in jail.
Yeah. Like, okay, no, that's a great point. Because, like, is this someone close? I don't remember. Forgive me, Oscar.
No,
was
this
this
is just people who want to hire you based on your reputation.
all right. So this is just somebody that found me, let's say, in a yellow pages of that time, so to say. Word of mouth,
Yellow
whatever. Yeah.
papyrus.
So it could be, like you said, some rich schmuck that fucked up. Sorry.
I mean, considering that he's willing to pay all 4 of us a 3 years salary, and we aren't cheap.
no, we're not.
right.
So
I don't think the kid, like, again, we're still out of character. I don't
This is
think
all
the
out of
kid
character,
did it.
yes.
There's some kind of a fucking monster because he was raving. I wrote that down. So it definitely falls under our purview. And I'm not saying it's not important because you don't know the person, right? I'm up for whatever you all want to do.
In game and out of game, it would be essentially the child. Like, I would imagine Doreena would most likely want to save a child than necessarily make money. Like, and I, as a person, I am more excited for that if I had to pick between the two. Not saying there's anything wrong with that one, but like, hey, we're going for something that's like honorable and, you know, like we're saving a kid. You know what I mean? But that's just me. I apologize.
no, I think Herminius would be on board too. I mean, we take the ship, we take the boat over, we take the roads down, maybe stop at the festival to pay our respects to Macrion's student along
That's
the
on the
way,
It's
and then
just-
make our way
it's
down
just
to save
supposed
the
to be a
child.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
A
I mean, we don't
relaxing
even
week
necessarily
after
have to
long
stay there the
travel.
whole week. Like staying there like a couple of days, pay
Yeah.
homage, and then leave.
Yeah, it's
Make
kind
an
of like
appearance.
it's almost like her quinceanera. It's like her coming
Yeah.
of age. You know,
Yeah,
No, but
it's
that's
a
exciting, too.
relaxing week after a lot of travel. You know, I think it makes sense to just
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
away.
After a stressful year.
Yeah. And then
I mean, it's
we
a-
head off to the mountains to get some sacred elixir to save a child.
Yeah.
Who of you actually worship the Roman gods like Minerva, etc.? I apologize that I'm not entirely remembering who.
I'm gonna see if
So
it's on my
I
character
don't.
sheet.
I am
I think I do.
Jewish.
No, I'm Celtic. Never mind.
She is
I
a
mean,
Roman
we're
goddess of
quite
I'm Greek,
wisdom.
so
She's the goddess of wisdom, justice, law,
Art,
victory,
the
art,
trades.
trade, and strategy.
Yeah.
She is not a patron of war, such as Mars, but of strategy, of tactics. So she is a martial god, but not a savage god. She's more like the chess player general. Really, it's up to you guys.
I know, but like, I kind of like, in my mind, I want
I
to
want
justify
people to
everything.
have fun.
I mean, we're gonna have
Everything's gonna
fun
be fun.
regardless.
Yeah, like I'm
Well-
excited that there's these things put in front of me and I have choices. You know what I mean?
Shall-
Like,
Shall we? I mean, if we dare do this, I feel like I have a secondary vote to the rest of the party. But do we wish to, put our lots into a hat and see who votes for what?
Yeah.
I'm as long as I eventually can make it back to Palestinia, I'm fine to travel with you all and help as I can. Do you all have a preference beyond that? I certainly would love to help my client at some point, but I think we do have time for diversion before we get there.
I'm down for leaving where I'm normally from and exploring new places. I think if I go back to where I'm from, I'm going to be bored watching sheep. So I want to continue to adventure on. Like that's the thought process that I have for my character. As far as like morally, as long as at some point we can save the child, I'm good. So that's where I stand with that. I don't know.
And now, where is the child located?
The child is in Jerusalem, but
Okay.
the shrine is supposed to be in the mountains of Macedonia.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody knows
Okay.
exactly where it is.
Do we have a name for it?
The Shrine of Hygeia.
Okay.
It's supposed to be a natural spring high in the mountains, said to have healing powers. Pilgrims used to go to it, but no one's gone there in like 20 or 30 years.
Okay.
So you guys would have to do some researching to even find it before you get there.
Well, that was my thought as we progress through Gaul, which wouldn't necessarily be fruitful in Gaul, but as we get back out onto the peninsula to then begin asking around, doing some research, hit some libraries, whatever.
There are great libraries in the capital.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if we would like, we can stop for Macrion Students Festival as we make our way down to Macedonia. If you want, we can stop at my home in Salona and take a rest there before heading down, maybe do some research in Dalmatia. And then we can head on to Macedonia and help this child.
Since you're getting on boats, there's no reason why you couldn't hit a certain library in Egypt.
Well, that's kind of out of the way, though, isn't it?
Well, you're on a boat. And
I mean, fair. I do have a house in Alexandria.
If it's not,
Oh, there you go.
if you can't find, something about it in the Great Library of Alexandria, I don't know where you'd want to look.
That's a meaningful
very good
location for me too. Okay.
And I've written it in as one of the places that is one of the greater libraries of the empire that you could possibly find a map or something. So
Sure. Okay. Well, let's jump back into character then.
Okay.
All right. Well, so it seems as if we are leaning towards southern travel. Does this seem amenable to everyone? Someone perishing potentially for something that they haven't done is it's unfortunate. I don't like to see that would be the case, but as none of us have any specific ties to this person, I would leave it as a vote to the group. We are here, but
I feel like if this person is in dire straits and they get desperate enough, then they can toss around some of the thousands of sesterces that they were willing to pay us to get this person out of jail.
Plus, might they not actually require more legal counsel, perhaps, and diplomacy, which is not really your expertise?
Agreed.
I am a master debater.
But I am not.
I'm not going there. I'm counting to 10 in my head. Not going to do it. You're better than that, Oscar.
Yep. He did fail that wrestling match after all.
No, I passed.
He pushed it, remember?
That's right, true. You did fail. You did.
No, you failed. You just didn't black out fail.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, you are correct. It does seem that they would need more legal counsel for their defense, but if it is indeed some creature that needs to be removed in the war against the Shadow War, it does fall under our purview per se. It has been a very rough year, though.
For me, it sounds like they are hiring a warrior to perhaps free this gentleman from prison.
I would agree with that. I think maybe it's more for the muscle than it necessarily is for the negotiation.
Agreed.
But I am okay with waiting on this, or if, like you said, if time comes along and it's still available, I'm willing to help. But I think we have more pressing matters and more attractive matters placed in front of us.
Agreed. If we return to Britannia and they haven't hanged him by then we can assist.
Perhaps our Patreon would be inclined to provide some of his resources to help free the man.
Oh, that's a wonderful idea. I also would like to talk to the Patreon if they know of the client that's reaching out to me, or any additional information that may make it easier for us to decide maybe to walk away from it completely.
Was someone asking me a question?
Yes, that was me
I'm
wording
sorry.
a question. No,
Sorry.
it's fine. It's
I was looking at some notes.
I don't think I worded it correctly. My apologies. Is it possible to find out more information about this person? Is this something that I really need to handle, or are they just putting out a feeler to a lot of people trying to get help?
They're putting out a feeler to try and hire someone competent, willing to go north to Caledonia, to free this merchant's son. Well, he's a merchant himself, but
okay. But I'm sorry. Am I the only person they reached out to, or are there other people?
No, look. If you don't go, other people
Someone will.
Okay,
and if you feel bad enough, you guys can roll up 4 new characters and say, while these guys were over there, we were over here. I don't want guilt.
There's no guilt at all. It's just that, everyone's brought up valid points. There's a lot of money being thrown, and this is really not 100% my forte. And as much
We've
as I
got
am
a lot of money.
It is a lot of money. It really is. But that's not this, you know what I mean? So thank you for that additional information. I am comfortable saying that if I do not take care of this, it's okay.
I mean, right now, Herminius has 780 sesterci. Like, I'm not really stressing for money right now. So
My spending power is 700.
You're pretty wealthy.
Yeah, I have 4 houses.
jeez.
I don't have a lot, but I'm okay with living with not a lot of money also. So as long as my sheep still survive at the end of this, that's all that matters. My 33 sheep.
Did you see the message I posted?
I
Herminius?
just looked
Yes,
at
it
it.
did.
No, I was trying to behave.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, I think the only thing Macrion would just, talk to our patron to see, like, if it's something that would be important to him as well, if he might, tender legal counsel, like if he had a lawyer that he used, that perhaps he would send.
Your
him or
guy
something
says,
like
"Look,
that."
I can get another group to go and deliver this message. If you have pressing matters back on the continent, you have pressing matters back on the continent. We understand that. You've done the people of Britain good service in the last year. It would be selfish to keep you longer than you wish."
Well, we
yes.
certainly-
Unfortunately,
Thank you.
we do have several things on the mainlands that we can take care of.
Thank you so much.
we appreciate your
I'll
hospitality.
have a ship made ready for Gaul. And I'll give you I'll write a few letters of introduction. If you want to cross Gaul and sail to Italia, or if you want to, cross the Alps and take the road, from Gaul into northern Italy. And we'll make sure that we have Daisy and your cart loaded onto the ship as well.
Oh, that would be fantastic. If you could
Appreciate it.
perhaps paint the side with a little bit of red ochre, just one stripe down the side.
I'll get right on that.
That'd be excellent.
Okay.
Macrion is particular about his charms.
Okay. Word comes back. You're basically woken that night, like several hours later, and says, "I sent out some feelers, and a man I trust is shipping out from Londinum down the Thames to the sea with a cargo of wool, and he's more than happy to allow you for a cabin, but he's leaving with the morning tide."
Perfect.
Would you
Nothing
be ready?
like the ocean at sunrise.
I think that would work just fine.
Yeah. Would I happen to know the person who's transporting the wool?
No, because they're they're a merchant that spends most of their time. They only come to Britain to trade,
Yeah.
so they're based in Gaul.
Okay.
You've heard of them. You usually sell your wool to a dealer here, who then sells it to people like him.
Okay, but like not somebody that I would know. Like, hey, do not work with this.
No.
person.
This guy's reputable.
Okay, that's where I was getting at. Just making sure. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. So do you meet his ship at pre-dawn?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. Pack up, whatever stuff that we have still, and yeah.
Okay. As the sky slowly brightens, you are on this ship, which is called the Endeavor.
Ooh.
Except it's in Latin, so it sounds really cool.
Endeavorare.
Let me hold on. Let me see what that is.
We can fit on Daisy, right? There won't be any problem transporting Daisy.
No, they've got her on the boat.
Okay, great.
Now, is this Daisy 1 or Daisy 2.0?
I think we're like Daisy 4.7 or something.
Right?
Okay, just checking.
4.7.
Like,
Our
I'm
Daisy
keeping
is
records.
seen
It's got some
Yeah.
upgrades as well.
Yeah,
It
it's
is,
like a new.
Conatus.
Ooh.
Conatus. I just pressed the pronunciation. Okay, so you sail down the Thames. You get out into Oceanus, the Britannia Oceanus. You see the cliffs, the white cliffs of Britain fading behind you. And
Is it sunrise yet?
the sun is coming up as you are
Ah.
departing Britannia.
Herminius is going to stand on the side of the boat to watch the sunrise.
Okay. Herminius, you begin to feel a little dizzy.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I haven't been on a boat in a while. I'm probably a little seasick.
He turns to you guys. He goes, I'm feeling a little seasick. Haven't been on a boat in a while. And suddenly you guys see all color drain from him.
Ooh.
And when I say all color drain from him, drain from his hair, his flesh, his clothing, his equipment. Like literally all color just drains from him. He begins to like tremble. And then he collapses onto the deck. And as he's falling, what hits the deck is a large sack of dried leaves, sticks, buttons, and straw.
I knew it.
What?
I mean, Macrion didn't know it. I knew it.
What? What?
There was a moment when Doreena was sure that Herminius was dead. And who did you leave him with?
Yeah. The thing.
And then what happened?
He came back. Just, magically came back.
Did anyone notice that Herminius stopped drinking and carousing with women after that point?
No.
Because
I didn't
Stopped
pay
eating
attention to that.
fruit.
because Jesse made a point of doing that all throughout the campaign from that point on. Jesse, why don't you relate what happened in our private little session between your death and your return?
Well, basically, the Fae asked me if I wanted to continue on living, if I still had the desire to live, and of course, I said yes. However, she was not able to. I was kind of too far gone to fully
why was
bring
that?
back.
Because your dead grandfather showed up.
Yes. Yeah.
And saying I've come to take you to the rest of your family.
Yeah. So basically my my will wanted me to go, my heart wanted to go, but my mind wanted to stay. So there was at that point this separation.
And he failed his
Where-
cow check.
I did, yes.
At which point the fairy queen says, well, fuck, we'll do it the hard way. And
Yep.
created a changeling in his image with all of his memories and abilities and sent him back to you.
Mhm.
Fabulous.
So yes, Herminius has actually been dead for about half of the campaign and has been playing as his own changeling, unaware that he was a replicant, that he was a duplicate.
Yep.
But still, the
It's been
player
a pain
knew
in the
and
ass
played it.
taking penalty on every single sanity and luck roll.
Yes, he's taken penalties on every sand check and luck roll since then.
Damn, that's
But he's been playing most of the campaign as a changeling.
I knew.
I feel like
assumed.
such a failure.
I assumed.
Everybody has to make a sand check, and Jesse, you're gonna have to roll up a new character.
I feel like such a failure.
Macrion has
So-
a con moment. He's like, Faye!
And,
No.
and
Good
fittingly
sir.
enough, I failed my sand roll catastrophic.
Oh God!
Nice.
Oh.
That's my
Oh
I
my
rolled
goodness.
a 97.
5
39.
loss.
I am okay with this for some reason.
I'm
One
40.
if you make it, 5 if you fail.
How many if you make it?
1.
Okay.
I start
Ooh.
weeping.
Well, I knew there was something suspicious, but very interesting how that panned out. Very, very interesting. So you've just been a stick this whole time.
I've been a sack of leaves the whole time.
Does this mean you're not
Exactly.
going to Dacia?
Yeah! Oh, the
So-
betrayal!
You
I
still
think-
have the
this
letter.
sunny,
You say,
beautiful
we're
Dacia."
friends of Herminius. He died in Britannia.
Right?
Which would be true.
Yeah.
Wait, so then essentially your house is up for grabs.
I have another
I'm
house
the
then.
one that's been betrayed by the
a good
Fae
point.
again. I think I deserve a vacation home now. Just
So-
saying.
I think Macrion takes the sack and like all the leaves and everything and keeps what's left of Herminius.
Aww.
Put him in the back of the wagon.
Get the buttons. We can use the buttons. Grab the buttons.
So practical.
Well,
Yeah.
he
It'd
keeps
be
everything all
hilarious.
together.
Sessions
I knew
down
I'm-
the line,
I'm
somebody else
so
comes onto
happy
the
that
wagon and
at
they
least-
try to move the sack, and Macrion is like, "Don't touch Herminius."
I take the buttons to make eyes for him.
Can we sew
And
him back
then
up?
how many buttons do I have? Because I'm gonna make a mouth too.
Are you turning? You're turning me into sack boy? Is that what's happening?
Yeah.
You've been sacked by the whole time. Or most-
Sackminius.
Oh my goodness. My goodness.
Does this mean we should go back to Scotland? Like, what if we turn back around in the boat? Like, he'll
No, it's-
just
the magic has
leaves
been
will come
dispelled.
back together.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah,
so
so that's the thing too, is that I had to
Goddamn
stay in
Fae.
Britannia. Once I left the shores of Britannia, the magic was gone.
so if we went to
Cursed
Scotland,
Fae.
you'd be
You'd
there.
still be alive for another adventure.
What
Cursed
bull
Fae.
shenanigans is that?
I gave you guys a choice.
Utter betrayal.
What the heck?
Feel betrayed by the
Against the
gods.
Fae! What the?
For all those players out there who think it's going to be really cool to go on adventures with the Fae, they're kind of dicks.
More than
Yeah,
dicks.
yeah.
Hey,
That's not-
she
that's
helped
not
as
me.
much as
That's-
she could.
Yeah.
Nah. No. Like, ugh, I can't. The betrayal is just, I can't.
I take your magic knife.
Betrayal and heartbreak.
There you go.
Hey,
No,
wait, I
all
didn't
of
get
his
it.
equipment faded with him.
Ah,
Remember?
shit.
Aw,
She had to recreate him wholesale.
wow.
Everything about him was.
Wait,
was-
even the Cersei in his pocket?
There's nothing.
No!
Everything that was real about him is in a ditch. It's like rotting in a ditch. Like he's just skeletal remains now.
Turn
Malachi
this
makes
damn
another
boat
sand
around.
check.
We're going to Feyland.
Yeah, like, we gotta go back and negotiate. Like,
No, to
Master,
negotiate.
you're a
Negotiate
master
with
debater.
flames.
Let's
The
go.
captain was like, I may never go back to Britannia after what I just saw.
There is a Fey dagger in a hole in the ground somewhere.
I could have sworn I took that from you to use in that adventure. So you're telling, yeah. It's a betrayal.
Oh yeah.
It's a betrayal.
Well, I'm just thrilled that at least 2 of you didn't suspect.
Oh no, actually,
Uh,
Doreena. So you make a really good point. She actually had the Fey dagger and took it with her when I
Yes.
when I died. So the Fey dagger actually wasn't on Herminius
Okay.
when he was created as the. And then
So it would have
when I got
clattered to
back
the
to the
ground.
house, she gave it back to me.
All right.
Okay.
So that was
You're welcome,
real.
Macrion.
It would have
Yeah.
clattered to the ground.
You're welcome. Shit. So out of game.
But yeah, sorry, all the Cersei's gone.
Should have robbed you when you were dying. The lessons that have been learned in this game: don't trust anyone. Rob you
Betrayal.
before you die.
What are we playing? Final Fantasy rules?
No
Um,
wine and cheese. It's just too much. It's just too
Declaring all-out war on the Fae.
much. We really should.
yeah, I'm sure that's smart.
Honestly, like,
Burn that whole damn island to the ground.
yes. I just
Oh my goodness.
constantly, I keep forgiving the Fae. I'm like, all right, you know what? They did what they did. We can move on. And then they come back, and it's like, just
I
gonna
never
put the knife a
forgave
little
them.
deeper,
Right?
a little deeper, just a little more deeper.
You should have come with me. It was good. We had a lot of drinks. Food was really good.
Yeah, but if I would have went, it wouldn't have been good. No, no, they would have saw me and been like, no. But I digress.
Doreena
You'd have been
comes
like
back
Debbie
through the
Downer at the
portal
party.
covered in elf blood. Like,
They came back with like an ear or something. Yeah.
Oh
no.
my god. I have dreamed of this session for over a year.
right? Oh,
Well,
I will say, when we started the session, I had forgotten. And when we got on the boat, I was like,
Oh shit.
yeah. So
You didn't remember until that moment?
Until that moment, I
Oh,
had
boy.
forgotten because I was so excited that we were back to playing again.
Right.
all I knew is that
once-
there was something suspicious about Jesse, because a long time ago, you decided you wanted to brag about it, and someone else in my party has ears and said, I don't know the details, but this person is suspicious. And I said, okay, all right. And then completely forgot about it. It was like, yeah, okay, whatever.
No, so that's what my message to Oscar was, because once I found out that
He
our
knew.
missions could possibly
knew.
bring us outside of Britannia, I was like, just to let you know, I remember. So it's,
Oh, I knew you remember. I knew
Yep.
that you remembered.
Oh, goodness. Well, betrayal. Again, betrayed.
Well, shit.
The Fae have taken a friend. Again. Points for hating Fae.
All right, I'm sending you the file now, unless I can share the screen and play it.
But no, send it to me because then I'll just when the podcast comes out, I'll.
So
Okay.
you're gonna like
Plug that in.
play the whole thing out?
We did.
we already
No, I
did.
know you did. No, but like Macrion, you're gonna like redo it and put the. All right, yeah, that sounds amazing.
So and
For the
and like
podcast, I'm
basically
not gonna do it
now
here.
have it right.
Yeah, I'm
like
not gonna
now
do
have
it
it
now.
basically
We're not gonna
as a
sit here and-
flashback.
Yeah.
That's
Right,
cool.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
That's awesome. Betrayal. That's it. I want nothing. So once we leave, the Fae have no power. Yes, they're gone.
Well, they're still there. They're just not with you.
No,
They're
okay.
with us and they're with us here in our hearts.
So once I leave this
In
godforsaken
the
island,
blackness of our hearts.
what heart did I have left? Once we leave and we go to the mainland, the Fae are they're gone, right?
They have no influence outside of Britannia.
That's all
They're
I
not
need.
gone.
They have no influence. That's fine
Yes.
with me.
Yes.
I'm fine with that. I can sleep tonight. Thanks.
Oh my goodness.
Fucking asshole. I can't.
I knew you were gonna fucking lose it. I knew it.
I'm done. I'm literally. Too many betrayals. It's not fair.
Every fairy tale that you read into is just like this.
Breathing.
To be
Breathing.
fair, she
be
did try and
fair.
raise. She did try and raise him from the dead.
She did. She did her best.
Her
And
best is
after
not good
that,
enough.
she knew you'd. Well, she knew you'd be mad, Doreena.
Yeah.
If he was dead. So rather than have to hear it from you, she decided to just make a fake version
Yep.
and send it
So-
back.
Yeah, but that.
To her,
To be fair,
to
she,
her, it
yeah.
was like your goldfish died. So while you were at school, she went and got another goldfish that looked just like it, and put it back in your room.
Nah. We're not
That's-
good. I will.
That's her mentality of how she feels about humans.
My character will now survive via spite, and I will survive.
You're not the only one.
That's it. It's spite.
For me in the real world,
Pure spite now. To go back there, find her, and then rip her a new one. No,
uh,
no.
Oh, it's awesome.
my work here is done. Okay. Okay, play us out, keyboard cat.
Wait, literally, that's it. Wait,
Unless we're going back to burn Britain to the ground, I don't know what the point is.
we really should.
It's
We really
know,
should.
You got to give me a week to roll up a new character. Jeez.
Yeah,
No,
you know.
Listen, if you
Is
knew
it the end
about
of the
this,
adventure? No. Is it
No.
the end of this adventure? Yeah.
if you knew about this, you had time to roll up a new character, and then literally,
Well, I never
you
knew
could
when
have
it was going to happen.
He didn't even
Wait.
know it was happening tonight. You got to have said, we got to save that dude
Yeah, I know.
in Caledonia.
Yeah, we could have
And
gone
I'd
to
have been like,
Scotland.
well, okay, fuck. We're playing next week.
It could be a
If you-
very savvy wool merchant is all of a sudden going to be our new Herminius.
Right?
exactly.
If you really think about it, it's Doreena's fault. Because if she wasn't all like, "Oh, we need to
Oh my
save
God,
the
see,
child,"
the Fae are turning
we
us
would have gone
all
to
against each
Scotland.
other.
I don't believe that. That's Fae bullshit. No, no,
Fae
that's
are
Fae
starting to
bullshit.
turn us against each other.
No, it's not
Back to
happening.
Britain.
I can
Listen-
see you guys fighting about this like for days. Like you're still fighting about it in
Oh,
the
yeah.
cart halfway through Gaul.
Right?
Macrion's like, he can hear you, and he's holding the sack. It's like, don't talk about him like that.
Oh my god.
Earmuffs, Herminius.
Hey, none of you actually failed. I failed.
I
Well-
failed to realize that there was a trap. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm here to be the protector for all of you. I failed.
Oh, and you fell to the Fae too.
Well, join me in the
You
hatred of
trusted
the
I
Fae.
don't
too.
even remember how his death went down
I do.
particularly.
The remember the succubi,
Yeah, ink
the
and
two
venom.
the travelers.
Yeah.
I got stabbed to death by the woman.
No, no,
I
no.
mean, yeah, you-
She had hands. She ate your.
Well,
flesh.
that's what I
Yeah,
meant. Her like whole
eyeball and-
body was all spiky
strangled
and
you?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
We split up. That was the reason why we got punished for splitting up.
Never split the
Yeah.
party.
Well, no, didn't Herminius and Doreena actually went and fought them
Yeah.
because Doreena killed them,
Yeah.
and then the Fae was like, "You go ahead, I'll take care of Herminius."
right, because
Yeah.
there was still something going on.
Yeah,
There
It was the
werewolves
boy.
And
at
then
the
and then
time.
Herminius
Well,
showed
I
up.
remember that.
He was still fighting. He was like, yeah, I feel fine. I thought you were dead. No, I'm good. They fixed me right up.
Yep.
Fucking bullshit.
All right, so play us out, and then I want to have a few words with the team.
Okay, sounds good. All right, I want to thank everybody for checking out. We had a bunch of people jump in today, so that's cool. Thank you for watching. We're excited to be back into the world of Cthulhu Invictus. It's been a hot minute, like I said when we came in, so it's good to get together with everybody again. This is the one way we get to hang out, so it's always good to hang out with everybody. We have a Patreon up if you're interested in that. It's whatever. Our friend Kurt, who also is the GM and host on the MFG cast. His wife Tracy has an Etsy shop. It's Midwest Resin Geek. There's a link in the show notes for that as well. She makes some really nice resin dice. I tried to find some the other day. I got a couple of sets here. Can't see them through the bag. It's whatever. They're nice dice. I use them. Your mileage may vary. Don't roll crappy, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, she makes dice and other resin stuff. So if you're interested in that, you can check that out. There's some core stuff. There's a link for that stuff. Core Cthulhu is there. It's kind of sort of in the midst of rewrites for it's fine. Again, thanks for checking us out, and we'll catch you next time.
Peace.